Yo, with some of these reactions, you just gotta wonder, is it really that big of a deal? What to do, ladies and dudes? You know who we be. Jabberjaw's back in the booth. My name is the Vulgar Desperado.
Gentleman Bastard up in here.
And today, I just gotta go over because I kind of find it kind of funny and a little weird. Sometimes, and in a way, I guess you could say I feel like the pendulum is swinging a little too far the other way. But we gotta go over people's visceral reaction to Miles becoming the new Spider-Man and Insomniac's Spider-Man games. Now, this is obviously going to be a spoiler-heavy video, so fair warning. But if you've played it or if you just don't give a fuck about the spoilers, please stick around. But before we go any further, please do us a solid. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Would really appreciate it on our road to 1,000.
Get it.
Thank you very much. So, let's begin and just say that the general consensus that I do see, and at least on certain spheres of the internet, is people are kind of up in arms again because Insomniac more or less confirmed that Miles is the new Spider-Man going forward. And if you've played the game, shouldn't be that big of a shocker. Shouldn't even be that big of a fucking deal. If you know any of the
stories of Miles that he's in, it shouldn't be any type of a shocker.
Exactly, yeah. It's kind of not uncommon of a thing, technically, because that's what happens. Miles came when Peter died in the comic books. Mm-hmm. He died in the movie Spider-Verses, and that's almost like Miles' destiny. Exactly. But here in this game, dun, Peter doesn't die. So,
a passing of the mantle.
It's really just a passing of the torch. And really, it's more of a hey, bro, I need a vacation. I need to get my life together. Because, again, if you've played this game, the first 10 minutes of this shit, after a sick, pretty opening fight sequence with Sandman and both Spider-Man, Peter loses his fucking job again. And I was actually kind of I was like, dang, I kind of wanted him to be Miles' teacher. Yeah. I thought that would have been kind of cool,
it would have been all of a sudden, if one of them ran out and then one of them would come back and every time they switched,
I thought that would have been cool. Him as a teacher would be pretty tight, too. Maybe more of a professor, but, if you like Peter as a character, you kind of don't want to see him staying poor.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I know there's one version in the comics. I think he gets money from S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't fucking know. But you want good things to happen.
I want him to, be successful. Especially in the first game, he was working hard with Doc Ock, and he was trying to make everything go
he's
off.
Trying to come up.
He had an entire job, and it wasn't super steady, but... it worked, and it's just you still wanted that for him, and here it goes.
And then, you're playing this game, and then, again, he's, losing money, or not losing money, has no money, and he's gonna be losing more money because he's house getting foreclosed, he can't pay that, it's a lot of shit's going on, so you're honestly playing that game, and you're like, damn, I'm surprised you haven't had a sidekick this whole time, exactly. You need some help, I need it, and that's why MJ should be an actress, so she can have some bank, just saying, she needs to get back to her real calling, but a lot of people are mad, they're like, oh, it's another woke replacer, and they're taking Peter's place, they're invading his space, and I was like, Jesus Christ, y'all. I was
how?
Yeah. I was like, bro.
Where's the offense coming from this time?
Seriously, I was like, one, you shouldn't be that shocked. No. Knowing that the fact that Sony has been making some bank off the Miles movies, it's not going to be so out of the norm that they might do that in the game where he's actually existing. You know what I mean?
Spider-Man 3, Miles coming, Miles rising, Miles something. It's you wouldn't see something like this?
Even in that regard, I don't even think it's going to be that full of a Miles game. Whether you start off as Miles, I think Peter would come back.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I think...
how many different people you play as in this game, or you have options of playing around? Who knows? Maybe Wraith and Miles are going to do something or something like that. It could be anybody.
Well, what I think is, when they say Miles is the new Spider-Man, it's going to be no different than the first Spider-Man game and then the Miles game. It's in the verse of the game, it's going to be months years apart, where Miles is probably just going to be Spider-Man for all this time in the verse of the game until the third game comes out, and then third game starts up, and that's when Norman probably comes back, and then Peter joins the fray to like settle the score.
We gotta get this done.
You know what I mean? Like people act like the way you would like watching some of these YouTubers' reactions and some of these articles and shit. You're just like, hey, he didn't die. He literally said, I'm trying to get my shit together. And the reality is, that's a common theme with Peter.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, again, it's like watch, that's a good thing. So like, why are y'all so mad? Like I'm not gonna want to sit there and call people racist, but it does make you wonder sometimes. You're just like, okay, well, what if he was a different color? Would you be still tripping?
And even at that point, it's like, especially because he has his mom as real all the time. It's just like she's always there. They're always showing it. Like, does it really matter? Like, he's multiracial. It doesn't matter what's going on with any of that stuff because he's just gonna be Spider-Man, just like Peter was.
Right.
Just
and
saving
like,
people.
Because I get the woke shit. You know, again, like, I was not a Miles fan until I kind of like read more up. Watched the movies, played the games, and I kind of was like, okay, I actually like this character now. I initially thought Miles was a pander, but, you know, I think he's gonna, it's no different than any other character. You either like him or you don't, but, like, he's not necessarily, like, you know, it's not like he's a unlikable character. He's not like Kamala Khan or some of these other woke to be woke characters. Like, Miles actually has some depth and some likability. You know, even South Park was like, you know, they talk about that. They was like, oh, but you don't even like Black Spider-Man. And Stan's like, no, like, we actually like Miles. And Kyle's like, yeah, that's his own character, his own story. Like, it's completely different.
Exactly.
And it is. You know, like, and that's where I think, like, the pendulum is swinging too far the other way, because now the people that call out the woke shit, they don't know the difference between non-woke shit and like actual woke shit.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, hey, there's a black character, or hey, there's a gay character. Hey, there's some, you know, women in as the lead or whatever. It's like, hey, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily woke. Exactly. I think you guys need to like turn your dogs down, or like, you know, like not have your dogs be fucking put them on the leash or some shit. You know what I mean? Because like at the end of the day, like,
not everything's an attack.
Yeah, it's not all an attack. It's not all that big of a deal. Like, I really don't think it matters that much, especially if you've played the game. Like, the verse of the game. Like, does it make sense in the story?
It does.
Yes. Did Peter die? No. Did Peter get nerfed? No. He actually got a buff.
Exactly.
You know, Spider, like Miles has all these powers, and I even thought to myself, I was like, damn, bro, I don't want Peter to get more tech. I wish he had, like, natural web shooters or something to make him, you know, more powerful. Bam, anti-venom suit. And I was like, fuck yeah, this shit is tight. You know, so, like, I don't know. I feel like people are looking for any slight, and they're like, you know, anything bad that, you know, could or did happen to Peter. They're like, oh, see, look. And it's like, nah, man, like, nothing really was that big of a deal. Like, I'm not gonna act like there wasn't some really woke things in that game. Like, and that's a whole nother video, to be honest. But, you know, in the context of how, you know, Miles becoming the new Spider-Man and how they treated Peter, it's like, it wasn't disrespectful.
No.
It made a lot of sense. You were actually happy because you're like, dang, bro, like, Peter gone through so much shit. Like, he lost his aunt. He's obviously lost his uncle.
He has had no time to grieve through any of it.
Yeah,
he
like,
just
he needs
kept
a break.
going and going.
And now the city's safe. Like, that's a good thing. Like, if you really have to hate Miles to look at that as a bad thing.
Exactly.
To be perfectly honest.
Like, to be able to look at somebody who says, hey, man, take this break. Like, I got this. Don't worry. Like, you can go and do what you need to do, finally. Like, to have somebody who can have your back like that, come on now.
Like, yeah. Like,
it shouldn't matter what's going on.
Like, a lot of people are going to be mad on the semantics. Like, oh, he should have a different name and blah, blah, blah. Like, it doesn't really matter. Again, it's not something that matters. But, you know, like, yes, Miles, whether you want to look at him like a Robin or, you know, just another Spider-Man to take over the mantle in the meantime, whatever, like, it's good for Peter. You know, like, I think it's a benefit to Peter and even to Miles that they can have each other's back, because New York is fucking huge. Like, you know, like, that shit is not small. There's always some fucking crime, and these niggas are dumb and making excuses, so they need, like, help, like, to each other, you know. But I don't know. I mean, in the end of the day, I think it's not that big of a deal, and I truly and honestly, again, like, Sony's gonna capitalize on it.
Why wouldn't you?
So I
if he's the more popular Spider-Man right now, why wouldn't you?
at least like the movies are making good money. Not to say the Tom Holland ones didn't, but like it's working. So
Yep.
I don't know. Again, not that big of a deal, but let us know in the comments. If you are one of the people that kind of finds like let me know. I mean, so like I said, some people have visceral reactions. If you got a visceral reaction, please explain why in a nice way. But if you don't like it for whatever reason, explain your piece. But if you played the game and you like saw how it worked out, and you agree with us, let us know also in the comments.
Give
But
that like.
Yeah, but you know what it is. Jabberjaw's in the booth. Vulgar Desperado.
Gentleman bastard.
We'll catch you on the next one.
See you.
Peace.